Hey y'all, iRick Guy here, and at the time of posting this video, Mac OS X High Sierra is expected to release tomorrow. Now, what should one do to prepare for the Mac OS X High Sierra upgrade? Now, like any other software installation, whether it's an operating system, a piece of software, or whatever, it's always important to perform a few important steps up front. Now, what I do out of best practice, I go through everything on my computer. Now, in my case, I'll be upgrading multiple computers. We'll talk about that in a moment. But what I'll do with the first computer that I upgrade is I'll go through and I'll make a list of everything that I use. And then I'll make sure that everything I use, that could be documents, that could be video files, applications, etc. Make sure that everything that I use is properly backed up. And what I typically do is copy it off to an external hard drive. Now, there is a tool built into Mac OS X called Time Machine, which makes backups really convenient. But what I do to make myself feel more comfortable is always use an external hard drive and or thumb drive to back up my super important files that I couldn't afford to live without. It's just a great proactive measure before going into something new. Not that there should be any problems with the upgrade, but out of best practice, always assume worst case scenario. So after I backed everything up, the next thing I want to do is check for any known issues with the Mac OS X High Sierra. So the applications that I use on a daily basis on my Mac, which is a pretty limited set. I use the Apple Pages, Apple Numbers, the Apple Notes, a lot of those things, which I have a somewhat high degree of confidence that those should likely be compatible with Mac OS X High Sierra. But it's the third-party applications that, if they're mission critical for your business, that you may want to check and make sure that they will be compatible out the door with Mac OS X High Sierra, because otherwise you may find yourself, even though you hopefully backed up all of the files that you've created with those applications, you may find that the application itself may not work immediately following the Mac OS X High Sierra upgrade. So check that out first for all of your mission critical apps, because there would be nothing worse, few things worse than upgrading to the latest and greatest operating system only to find that the most important app that you run will temporarily or maybe never function with that upgraded operating system. And I've found quite a few apps, and I've proactively gone through, and one of them, and the only one that I had of concern, was an application called ScreenFlow. And I use ScreenFlow for my screen captures. When I'm doing tutorials within Final Cut Pro 10, etc., I use ScreenFlow to capture my computer screen and also the audio. Well, I was, upon performing my due diligence, I discovered that ScreenFlow, the current version that I had, would no longer be compatible. So if I had upgraded to Mac OS X High Sierra without upgrading ScreenFlow, and that being a mission critical app for me, if I tried to go in and run it without having already upgraded it, I would find that it wouldn't work. So at least with that one, that product had anticipated people upgrading to OS X High Sierra, and they allowed people to go ahead and upgrade prior to upgrading the operating system. So I have a pretty high degree of confidence that when I upgrade to Mac OS X High Sierra tomorrow, that my ScreenFlow should work. Now, that was the only point of concern I had, but again, that's a real-world example of why you and or your business should go through and evaluate everything you use, check with those software manufacturers, make sure that it's confirmed compatibility with Mac OS X High Sierra. If not, do they plan to release a software update? If so, when? If not, what are the other options? Should you stay on Mac OS X Sierra and try to find a better solution? Or should you upgrade and break that application's functionality? I mean, those are decisions you've got to make. So, it's not just an upgrade. It sounds fine and dandy that something brand new is coming out tomorrow, and it should be awesome. Apple has not severely disappointed me yet. And that's one thing I've appreciated with all the versions of OS X so far. When I've upgraded, sure, there's a few things that I had to tweak, and I think one of the most troublesome updates that I did was at El Capitan. It was the one that brought in the power nap or whatever feature it was called. And if you didn't disable that for key applications like Final Cut Pro 10, etc., it may cause the exporting of videos to air out and this, that, and the other was a nuisance. But that's the biggest nuisance that I've encountered to date while upgrading to a new version of Mac OS X. So, be sure you got the backup. Be sure you're aware that, what you run, what's mission critical. Know if it should work with OS X High Sierra. Don't just go in and hit update just because it's available. That's a mistake that a lot of people make. And that's why I'm posting this video, because it's hopefully, by hearing this, hopefully you and your team will better evaluate your current situation and not potentially jump into something that could become catastrophic for your day-to-day work. So keep that in mind. Hope this video is of value. On a less serious note, I am super stoked about Mac OS X High Sierra, especially the biggest thing that excites me, because I'm a big video guy. I'm youtube.com/iRix guy. I'm excited about the new video capabilities the Mac OS X High Sierra is going to bring to the table. So, doing all the 4K video, everything I do now, except for stuff in the field occasionally, is 4K. So to have an operating system that's better built around 4K video makes me excited. So I hope this video is of value. If it wasn't of value, I hope it was at least entertaining. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, youtube.com/iRixGuy, because after I install Mac OS X High Sierra, I'm going to be going through, I'm going to be exploring the various features of High Sierra, and it should be a lot of fun. So thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe, youtube.com/iRixGuy. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, iRixGuy here. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. It's viewers like you that enable my channel to continue to grow. Thank you.